Hey, thanks everybody for joining us. Live Music Nation Podcast, Festival Edition. I'm your host, Jake Gill. Today we are with Wendell. He's from the Hot Springs Bike Fest. Wendell, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Wendell, give us a little background on you. Where did you grow up? Talk about your private career up until this point with the Bike Festival.
Well, I was born and raised in Little Rock, Arkansas, until a little bit later in my younger years. We moved to Hot Springs, Arkansas, and so went to the Air Force, came back home after my time, and went directly into the private sector, and really missed having the interaction with veterans. And so my wife and I and a couple of good friends, we created a group called the Arkansas Veteran Support Services. We used to have a motorcycle rally here in Hot Springs for, I think, 17 years. And when COVID hit, that motorcycle rally went away. The folks who put that on, they retired. And so we saw it as a golden opportunity to pick up and use it as our fundraiser for our nonprofit.
No, that's perfect. All right, so let's jump in. Let's for the listener that's never been, what is this? I always ask these three questions. What does this festival look like, smell like, and sound like?
Well, it's an all outdoor motorcycle rally, but we really hit the music scene hard also. It's a 3-day event starting on a Thursday and ending Sunday about midday, because Sunday we're open for just a little bit. But you'll see poker runs, you'll see a dice walk, you'll see tons of vendors, lots of great motorcycles, lots of great people. We'll have beer gardens, all kinds of fun stuff like that. Lots of stuff to do. If you've never heard of the Ives brothers, they are a stunt motorcycle group that come and do what they call the Globe of Steel. And then they also do the Wall of Death, which the Wall of Death is the one dating way back to where it's like a giant barrel, and they get on, they ride the walls of the Wall of Death. So that's a huge attraction, and so those guys are coming. Lots of food vendors, lots of things to do, and it's not really just for bikers. We want the community to show up and show out as well.
Yeah, no, that is always my next question is it's not just for one sect of people. Wendell, where does the fundraising process come in for you guys?
Well, we have several different fundraisers through the years. We also have several sponsors that are annual sponsors, but we work really hard. This motorcycle rally, like I said, is the main fundraiser for the Arkansas Veteran Support Services. And that pretty much, we're already planning for 2024. So it's a year-round process. A lot of people don't think about the trash cans, the porta potties, the stage, the lights, the sound, the poker run stops. It's just a whole gamut of things that you have to prepare for when you're putting on a motorcycle rally. So anybody out there that wants to knock a motorcycle rally or any big event, why didn't you do this? How come you didn't do that? There's a lot to consider, and there's a lot of things, and manpower is key. If you don't have the manpower, you can't pull this off. So we have some awesome volunteers, both on the planning committee and during the events that we do. So I can't thank our volunteers enough.
Wendell, what is the personal reward in this for you?
Repeat that.
What's the personal reward for this in you? Because obviously it's a ton of work. It's a ton of volunteer time. And
it is
just extensive. So where does that reward come from you? What makes it worth it for you?
Well, my wife, Amy, and I, we do this in tandem. We do this because we love our veterans, and we see, all across Arkansas, we see folks who need help, and veterans are a primary group of those folks that need our help. They need handicap ramps built. They need their bathrooms remodeled because they can't fit their wheelchair through the doorway. They've had water damage, so their floors are wavy, and we need to go in there and rebuild their subfloors and put new flooring down for them. We're trying to remodel a house right now so that we can let a veteran and a veteran family stay in there, pick their lives back up, maybe find them a job, make sure they're getting all their appointments with medical and VA and all that stuff. So that's really, we just love to give back. And the Arkansas Veteran Support Services, nobody on our board of directors gets paid a dime for any of this. We don't pay ourselves. We're all 100% nonprofit.
What do you think separates your festival from others?
I think our goal is to provide a fun environment for everybody, not just bikers, but the community. And then, of course, the big reward, the thing that separates us is that we don't get paid a dime. Yeah. Every penny that we make off this goes into our nonprofit to help our veterans. And so, a lot of actually almost every motorcycle rally has a like a donation that goes to a nonprofit or two or three. And that's fantastic. We totally support that. But 100% of ours, of what we make off of our fundraisers, goes. We don't take any off the top. Of course, there's always overhead, but that's going to happen with any fundraising event.
Yep. All right, Wendell, I always ask these two questions at every interview that I do because I am in live music and live entertainment. So you've seen a ton of concerts in your lifetime. What is the one that stands out the most impactful concert you've seen in your life?
Back in about 1989, I think, in Memphis, if you guys remember Monsters of Rock. And that was like a full day, full on concert with every band at that time that was very popular. You're talking Van Halen, the Motley Crues, the Def Leppards, all of them. And that was just a fantastic all day, most of the night concert that I will never forget.
Dead or alive, you could bring one musical act to the Hot Springs Bike Fest. Who would you bring?
Wow, that's a good one. Does it have to be present day? Because we would love to have Motley Crue from 1989 show up. And, we've got the closest thing to that you have ever seen. Houston is a hotbed for music, and especially for tribute bands. Houston has so many tribute bands, and one of our tribute bands we had last year, and they were so popular and so amazing that we're bringing them back this year. They're called the Crew Tribute Houston, and they are a Motley Crue tribute band. They dress like them from 1989. They look like them. They sound like them. They are amazing musicians. It's a 4-piece band, and those guys look, dress, smell, sound, taste just like Motley Crue from 1989. And they do different sets. They do a Shout at the Devil set. They do a Girls, Girls, Girls set. They do a Theater of Pain set. And man, they are spot on. If you're anywhere in Texas and you can get to those guys, go watch them perform it. Or better yet, come to Bike Fest.
That's awesome. That's very cool.
Yeah.
All right, Wendell, tell us, when is Bike Fest and how do people find out more information about it so they can make their travel plans?
Yeah, Bike Fest is June 8th, 9th, and 10th of this year, 2023, in Hot Springs, Arkansas. It's a 3-day event, of course, and there's so much to do. I've got to mention our other bands, and that is Friday night, starting about 7 o'clock, is a band out of Austin, Texas, called Blackheart Saints. Go look them up. Our headliner that night is Hardwired to Kill 'Em All. They are, of course, a Metallica tribute band. Both those bands are incredible, just incredible. Saturday night, we kick off that night at 7 p.m. with a Poison tribute band out of Houston. It's Poison Ivy, and then to close the show is our Motley Crue tribute band, the Crew Tribute Houston, and you will not be disappointed. So if you want to find out more about the bands and the poker runs and all the other stuff with Hot Springs Bike Fest, you can go to hotspringsbikefest.com.
Awesome. Wendell, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Hey, you betcha.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of